Okay, let's turn now to some positive news on the health of Canada's economy. Statistics Canada reports that a gain of almost 90,000 jobs across the country were made in May, much more than expected. So for more on this, we turn to CBC business reporter Angie Seth joining me in studio. So Angie, in which sectors did we see these job gains?
I mean, I kind of want to sort of parse through what we saw in April. We saw a huge job loss. We're seeing something much different in May right now. And as you pointed out, around 88,000 or so jobs. So that's an increase increases the employment rate, I should say, by about 0.2%. Significant, very much so. First significant gain since we saw in November. And sort of in terms of where we're seeing those jobs, these are mostly full-time jobs in the private sector, core markets like Ontario, BC, as well as Alberta. The number of people now working full-time, that number, of course, has increased. And Stats Canada is also reporting that this is the first month this year of job gains that also helped wipe out almost 80% of all job losses posted since the year began. In terms of where we are seeing those jobs, in the sectors of construction, that was an area we saw a drop in April. We're now seeing sort of an increase. It's sort of now that time of year as well where construction sort of gets to gear up. Culture and recreation, transportation and warehousing, as well as accommodation and food services. So big gains in those areas, but other areas we didn't necessarily see as much. And we did speak with Pedro Antunes, the chief economist at Signal 49 Research. Take a listen to what he has to say.
When we look at professional services and the services side more broadly, I do worry about AI and what kind of repercussions and disruptions we'll have in the labor market short term associated with that. So many things happening. I think if we can see a little bit of job growth as we've seen in this month, holding steady, I think certainly that's good news. We just have to see how all of this pans out in the next few months and years, I would suggest.
So clearly pointing out there that long-term outlook is going to be really critical through all of this when we see what the overall rate is for in terms of how Canada is doing in the jobs market. We did also see other decreases as well, and Natasha, in wholesale and retail, about a drop of 35,000 jobs there.
Okay, so let's talk about where we're seeing the unemployment rate.
And those numbers are really important. And we saw that rate drop, which is good news. We wanted to sort of see that happen there, drop by 0.3%. So it's now down to 6.6%. In the economists that I've spoken to, Pedro being one of them, of course, I mean, are we an ideal number here? 6 is kind of where you want to be. Are we going to get there? Well, again, we have to go month by month and see where things are happening. But nonetheless, we did see a drop in there as well. A drop for women as well as for men. But what also sort of stands out here as well is we did see a drop with regards to youth unemployment. They dropped almost a full percentage point, so down 13.4%. What does this mean moving forward? I did speak with Brandon Bernard from Indeed, and he says if we see employer demand kind of maintain itself, stay steady, the labor market, of course, is going to stay steady. When it comes to job growth, number of factors we need to look at. We know there hasn't been sort of major population growth. So when it comes to job growth, well, we may not sort of see as high of an expectation. Take a listen here.
The overall pace of job growth over the past year has been pretty slow, but it's been slow in line with flat population as well. And so I think more of the same is my expectation. And that's good news in the sense that we're not sliding down, but we want to see the job seeker market, kick into stronger gear after a few weak years. And I'm not sure we're going to see that either.
So a bit of that cautious optimism, I should say. Good news as we saw in terms of what happened for May. Now, what are we watching for, Natasha? Of course, next week, the Bank of Canada is going to be releasing its interest rate. From what we're hearing from economists, from CBC senior economist Andrew Grantham, what he's predicting right now is he's really not going to see a change in the rate. That's, of course, given how things are. But there's a lot of factors we're keeping a close eye on, as you know, in terms of what's happening around the world, where our GDP is. But month by month, we'll sort of continue to track it.
Okay, appreciate it. CBC's Angie Seth.